Hey, it's me, E.R.C. Back to E.R.C. South Park, and I'm barking at you again. E.R.C. loving on Trump. Again, and again, and again. So, oh, hello. You gonna say hello? She says hello. Beauty says hello. Bunny says hello. But, yeah, it turned into the first couple. Then you would know what's going on. Since Halloween, my one subscriber got the name of the bald eagle changed to backwards Oreo cookie eagle because it's not actually bald. And if you watch Eddie Rhapsody, I Can Talk to Animals, then you would know I had a conversation with the eagle. It was not happy about its name because it wasn't bald, so we figured that one out. My one subscriber already got it pushed through. That was our first order of agenda, was to get that changed. And there's a reason, because there's a new paradigm shift happening within our country, and that bald eagle has been assembled. The problem is it's not actually bald. So whoever named it in the first place, you know, it's okay. He might have just had like the one eagle out of the bunch that was bald, so he made a mistake. Mistakes happen. We're going to find out a little bit later in this video. Did play golf with Donald today. He accepted my invitation. He wanted to test fly his new plane from Qatar anyways, and so he decided to come and play around. And well, let's just say he was happy that I could help him straighten his slice out a little bit. I'm not going to tell you what he shot, but that's a side note. He did agree to have me be his personal golf coach. Also, he asked me to be his gesture. And so, you know, I'm still thinking about that one because he asked me if I would actually wear, you know, a gesture costume, like colorful, poofy silk, and then he wanted me to wear a Make America Great Again hat, which I would. And then I just asked him maybe I could just do that, because I like to just wear sweatshirts and stuff like that. But the thing is we came to a compromise. Since we did solve the problem with him being called a cheater, playing golf when he was in Europe, as it turns out, that rule had been changed before he went to play. Instead of 6 inches, if your name was Donald Trump, you got 600 yards. So there was liability now with our lawyers. We talked about this today too, and that is going to be going through. We're going to get another plane for that from them. So we'll have 2 planes now. 2 Air Force Ones. It's going to be Air Force One and Air Force Two. And I said, well, I'll wear the costume if I get the other plane. And so I told you I had a lot of $1 million ideas. Donald and I, you know, we're like peas and carrots now. So you can see that in me, you know, that I'm a problem solver. And so that's the direction that we're going to go with that. The real reason I wanted to talk to him was because I had a conversation with my buddy Dennis in the hot tub here last night. I go there at night to relax and think. Well, lo and behold, my old friend from the hood in South Park, he's in the hot tub. His brother Dennis, super tall guy. I used to keep him by my side because he was a good rebounder. And so we'd run the field houses in South Park. Back then I could dunk it and shoot like Seth Curry. Anyways, I already told you I had a lot of gifts. Me and Donald, we're like peas and carrots. I think along the same lines. We decided today, you know, that we're going to be a partnership. So I'm talking to my friend Dennis, that I hadn't seen in a long time. I'm like, what's up, man? What have you been up to, bro? So he tells me he played for the Chicago Bulls, won a bunch of championships. You know, Dennis is a big dreamer. I remember that about him. He liked to wear spandex. and he had lots of tattoos. And so he was just fun to hang out with. He dyed his hair blonde. I mean, funny guy, right? One thing about him, he told tall tales. And so I just listened. Last night I'm listening. So anyways, he tells me he's friends with Kim Jong-un, who on my last video, we talked about how he accidentally dropped his ship on the concrete instead of in the sea. Well, I had my one subscriber look into that, just so we could clarify what happened. And Dennis confirmed it last night. Apparently, the North Korean word for water and concrete are similar. So, the guy running the crane, who nobody can find now, apparently there was a simple mix-up, and so he thought he was supposed to actually drop the $50 billion ship on the concrete. Honest mistake. And so that's what happened. Anyway, Dennis proceeds to tell me that after that happened, he was in North Korea with Kim. They're friends. And now I start listening to him because I know he's telling the truth. I can see those two as friends going into a bar, watching basketball together, you know. Kim's up on the bar, high-fiving Dennis, and they're having a good time. So I can see that. So I start listening. And he tells me about Kim Jong-un. What happened was they were at a bar. They don't have bars in North Korea, but they have the special bar that Kim Jong-un had built just for when Dennis was there, because they're buddies, right? And in this bar, you know, there's pictures of Trump and lots of flags, and it's all like United States garb when you walk in. The thing is, all these North Koreans, they got knives and they're throwing at the dartboards. The dartboards and the bullseye has got Trump's face on it. So anyways, while they're in this bar, you know, Kim Jong-un doesn't drink. Communists don't drink, as far as I know. So he's drinking water. They're sitting there. Kim Jong-un's on the bar. They're high-fiving, watching basketball. So Trump slides in, slips a couple roofies in Kim Jong-un's water. This is what Dennis is telling me, right? Trump's weak. He winked at Dennis. He's like, you know, keep it on the down low. So Kim Jong-un, since he's on the bar, high-fiving Dennis, he can't see, you know, can't hardly see anyways. I could see those two walking into the bar. You know, Dennis is hitting his head on the door, and Kim Jong-un is just trying to look up over the floor mat so he can see what's going on in his black suit, which he never takes off. So anyways, what happened was, he gets roofied. They take him out. They take all of his clothes off. Nobody knows Trump, when he landed his Air Force One here, well, it actually has a hovercraft modification that the Qatarians put onto it because they have so much money. And so that's why he wanted it so bad. He came in and played golf with me. He came in here in a 747 on a little tiny airport that's only good for like Cessna 150s. And he landed it with his hovercraft mode. So he's got lots of secrets, you know, invisible submarines, hovercraft mode on his plane, the whole thing. So he roofies Kim Jong-un. He's out cold. Him and Dennis, my buddy, was telling me this story in the hot tub last night. The one that played for the Bulls. Lots of tattoos. And blonde hair. So yeah, Kim Jong-un's out cold. They took all of his clothes and they put him in this car. It was a special car. But you can't underestimate Trump, the power of Trump. This car was actually like a time machine. It was a time machine. It was a time machine car. So Trump reaches in there, and my buddy Dennis, this is what Dennis told me last night. He saw all this, he witnessed it, and I know he was telling the truth. I guess on this time machine, there was a dial, he spun it back to whatever year the Bachelor Party movie was made. When the little North Korean jumps out of the car, out of the trunk, with no clothes on, That's actually Kim Jong-un in that movie when Trump sent him back in time. So you don't underestimate the power of Trump. He didn't play golf that good today, but as our relationship grows, now that I got my own plane, I'm going to be his jester. I told him, if I'm going to be your jester, I'm going to have to make you king. He was surprised, that I had those kinds of aspirations that I do. I'm a big dreamer. My dream is not so much red and blue. How about purple? The white eagle that says backwards Oreo cookie on it. Let's put my initials in there somewhere to make sure it's mine. That's it. Yeah, everybody get on the same page. King and queen. King Trump, Queen Melinda. How about just letting the Democrats pick their own king and queen right now? They can pick them right now. This is what we talked about when we were playing, that this would be a good way to go. So they pick them right now. Do a 10-year stint for Donald and Melinda. They get to stay there for 10 years, and then the Democrats get I guess they get their choice, but that's only fair. In the meantime, now if that's going to happen, everybody has an ace in the hole, right? Now we're all on the same team. We're getting behind. Granted, Donald hasn't made a lot of great choices, but neither have I. Neither have most of us, because we don't. We're humans, so we make mistakes. So we forgive. Everybody get on the same page. Throw your red and blue away. Buy a purple shirt, purple hat with a white reverse Oreo cookie eagle on it. I don't know if I like the name reverse Oreo cookie eagle, so I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Maybe we could come up with a different name for the eagle, I guess. Because now that I say it out loud, that might not have been one of my best ideas, but I thought to give you, the gist of what's going on. I did tell Donald about all of Kim Jong-un's dastardly ideas, and so he's informed. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for me to get my plane, but yeah, that's what's up. We'll have them down to a single-digit handicap in no time. Hopefully I fit right in with the family, I don't mind somebody with a really bright rainbow-colored outfit, a guitar hanging around. I don't think I'd be much of a distraction with my two dogs. So I think it's going to be a good fit. E.R.C, Backstreet's E.R.C, South Park, E.R.C, loving on Trump again, and again, I think.